Today on Time for Living, we'll help you forget the winter cold with a voyage to Bermuda.
We'll visit a place that's using technology to make home a little bit easier to live in.
And in our second effort salute, you'll meet an artist who's sharing his work with the world. All this and more next on Time for Living.
Janet Jagalian.
And I'm Rex Traylor.
We have a special show on hand today, a chance to share our cruise to Bermuda with you.
That's right, Janet. We'll provide you with a few pointers for those who have not had the benefit of sailing away but have always thought about it.
And on our tour of Bermuda, you'll find some things you may not have known about.
And to begin with, let's get on board the Royal Majesty as it sets sail out of Boston Harbor headed for Bermuda.
Sailing out of Boston to Bermuda can be a delightful and restful experience if you prepare yourself for the trip. If you're prone to seasickness, take along plenty of Dramamine and make sure you start taking it the day before you board the ship, or have your doctor prescribe a remedy to make your trip enjoyable. And don't worry, the ship's doctor is there to deal with any problems you may face along the way. Once on board, get to know where everything is: the dining room, the pool, and the stairway closest to your room. Remember, this is the same as a 10-story hotel. Once setting sail, if you like to eat, you'll find a cruise to be a culinary paradise, from an early breakfast buffet to more formal meals at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and buffets at midnight. You'll never be at a loss for something to munch on. And speaking of the dining room, the staff works from 6 in the morning until just after midnight to make sure everyone on board feels like royalty. The waitstaff is a group of professionals that have many years of service at sea and work very hard to earn your respect and a reasonable tip at the end of the cruise. So much care is given each table setting. You have your choice of 20 pieces of flatware at each dinner. A knife, fork, and spoon for every course and more. And at night there is disco, more food, light entertainment, gambling, and of course, the Macarena. Even those who are the most unwilling participants can't help but get the foot tapping and the body moving to the sounds of island music.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
That was fun. I can't remember when I've enjoyed dining as much as I did on that ship. It was great.
And you were treated as though you were really royalty. And there's something about dining surrounded by the sea. And when Time for Living continues, we'll explore the beauty that makes Bermuda such a favorite destination for New Englanders. So stay with us. You won't want to miss this.
Welcome back to Time for Living. We continue our bright and sunny journey to Bermuda. We hope the trip is making you feel warm and cozy.
And that's right, and if you're not already on the phone calling your travel agent, then we think you will be shortly. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the wonderful sights and sounds of the island of Bermuda.
This island paradise is less than 2 hours by air or 2 days cruise when traveling from Boston. And the lure of 21 miles of sandy beaches is easy temptation for New Englanders looking to get away from it all. Located 650 miles due east of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, Bermuda is actually a group of 150 islands connected by a series of bridges and causeways. Bringing it all together is a narrow roadway system that will challenge any driver, especially if they're unaccustomed to driving on the left side of the road. Downtown Hamilton, the capital city, is a different story. The traffic is a little slower, and sometimes a lot more enjoyable, as is the case with this horse-drawn carriage. While in Bermuda's capital city, you may want to browse the shops or just soak up the warm sun and enjoy the vivid rainbow of building colors that gives this vacation spot such a distinctive flavor. If you're cruising to Bermuda, your ship may tie up downtown. But if not, you'll find yourself about a 20-minute drive from Hamilton in the quaint village of St. George's. There you'll be treated to a mix of shops, restaurants, and an occasional glimpse of a visiting yacht. And if you're an early riser, you can catch the daily reenactment of the dunking chair. In days of old, those who were deemed to be a nuisance in the village were taught a lesson. Few will argue the beauty of Bermuda, and island loyalists like Hamilton City Manager Roger Sherratt, who came here 31 years ago, well, they're very opinionated.
I've been living here now for 31 years, and I just went away a few weeks ago, and when I came back, it still struck me as the most beautiful place that I've ever seen in my life. I still feel the same way now today as I did 31 years ago. When I arrived and said it's the only place in the world, I think, where the actual place itself is more beautiful than the postcards that you send from Bermuda. I have friends who come from the States. I've got some friends who've been coming down here now 30, 40 times, and they still love to come down to Bermuda. They say it's the most beautiful place they've ever been to. The people are friendly. There's a great atmosphere here, and of course it must be one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
But there is much more to Bermuda. It's a country with a proud tradition, a nation where culture is valued and education is prized. This nation of 60,000 people boasts one of the highest literacy rates in the world. It also boasts about the many well-manicured golf courses that attract the professional to its fairways. If you're an animal and nature lover, you can treat yourself to Bermuda's aquarium and zoo. See the magnificent flock of pink flamingos and get a look at the rare Galapagos tortoises, some older, and then there are some a little younger. Bermuda, sun, sand, and a lot more. So when you need to get away for some sun and fun and only have a few days to spare, a trip to Bermuda may be just right for you. Traveling around for Time for Living, I'm Rex Traylor.
I don't know about you, but I sure want to get back to Bermuda. Have you ever wondered how they get those large cruise ships in and out of those small ports? Well, when Time for Living continues, we'll tell you how, and we'll also take your phone calls. Our travel expert will answer any of your questions or concerns about taking a cruise or making travel plans. So pick up the phone, give us a call at 617-244-3344. Time for Living. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Time for Living and our cruise to and from Bermuda. We hope you're enjoying your winter getaway.
Well, I'm sure enjoying it, kind of reliving it right now. One of the most interesting aspects of the cruise had to be the skills these captains have to get those incredible ships in and out of the ports. And in case you have never experienced it, we have a look at how they do this incredible maneuver. Now let's go up to the captain's bridge and join the captain of the Royal Majesty as he makes his way out of St. George's Harbor.
As passengers line the decks for one last look at St. George's, we take you behind the scenes to see just what it takes to move this massive ship away from the docks and out into open waters for our journey home. Joining the captain, staff captain, navigator, and chief on the bridge are two pilot captains who, by Bermuda law, oversee every step of departure. As the staff captain keeps in direct communication with 6 crew members manning the engine room, the pilots take command of the ship, and with good reason, because just 10 feet separate the Royal Majesty's hull from the harbor floor, making each step from releasing the lines to powering up the thrusters that push this ship away from the dock such a delicate process. And once away from the docks, the work is far from over. Now the captain and crew must navigate the pass and move the ship into open waters. For an experienced captain, this seems little challenge at all. For the passengers, it is a breathtaking experience hearing that the ship is passing through a channel with only 40 feet to spare on either side. I asked the captain about how much navigation has changed over the years.
Going back in history, ships, they had sails, and actually then they were the real seamen. Coming to these days, everything becomes computerized. The big wheel gets to a form of a little handle, and computers all over around us, as you can see, they just do all the work. But again, computers are as good as the operator of the computer. Whatever you ask them, they will give you the answers. It's a help. It is a help, makes it a little bit easier, but again, you have to have to pay attention to everything, because in a computer sometimes they go wrong.
And what of the staff captain, the man who is chief of staff of the ship, making sure everything runs smooth?
The staff captain position is a little bit of everything. Like the staff captain has all the departments. Before anything happens, they have to contact with the staff captain. He is the contact between all the departments and the captain. And if a staff captain wants to succeed, he has to decide to sleep less hours, and he must do the captain's orders if he wants to succeed. Because even if he holds the captain's license, and because I have been as a captain in another ship and I have the master license, but when I'm staff captain, I try to do the captain's orders because he has the responsibility.
Their faces tell the story of how seriously they take their work. They're always aware that the safety and comfort of ship's passengers depends on their being vigilant in their watch. And as I enjoyed this last sunset from the upper deck of the Royal Majesty, it was comforting to know I could relax and leave the driving to captain and his crew.
They really are very special people, and they're very good at what they do.
Yeah, they sure are. And that sunset really brought back some great memories for me. I don't know about you. And now is the chance for you to ask your questions about travel packages and vacations. Our guest expert is coming our way next, so pick up the phone and give us a call at 617-244-3344. Time for Living continues in just a moment.
Welcome back to Time for Living. Now that we've shown you the joys and pleasures of taking a cruise, we thought you might like to ask some questions about traveling in general. And joining me to answer your questions and comments and share his expertise on traveling is Rob Kelly, Vice President for Grand Circle Travel, which is headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, Grand Circle specializes in worldwide travel packages and offers special attention to tours for older Americans wanting to take a trip. So pick up the phone, give us a call at 617-244-3344 because we'd love to hear from you. Rob, welcome.
Thank you, Janet.
Nice to have you here. Tell us about some of the special tours that you people offer older Americans.
Well, we offer people the opportunity to go anywhere in the world, either by land or by cruise. Really, the world is their playground. They can go down to anywhere in Europe, Asia, any of the cruises worldwide, and we offer them the opportunity to do things in a way that they can really get to know the place while they're there.
Like getting to the surroundings and sights, certainly, but getting to know one another as well so that it's a real unique kind of experience.
Well, the camaraderie in the trips is part of the reason I think people look to Grand Circle. They can come from all over the states to meet each other in one place and then travel in that spot while they're there. What we try to do is to give them the real cultural experience in the place rather than running the whole time they're there. We give them a good amount of time, 5, 6, or 7 nights in each place before they move to the next place.
And what's hot right now? Where are people really anxious to go?
Well, some of the places that are really hot right now, Turkey is really big for us right now. Yangtze River, because of the whole project going on with the dam over there, people will no longer, after 1997, be able to experience the Yangtze the same way they are. Eastern Europe is very big right now. A lot of people are going in to see the changes that have been made over there. And some of our winter destinations, Italy is doing very well with an all-inclusive product that we do. So Europe in general is doing very well. A lot in Mexico. Copper Canyon's become a big destination.
I was wondering
for
if there's
Americans.
anything a little closer to home. I mean, these are certainly marvelous trips, and I'm sure they're fairly expensive as well.
Well, they're affordable. The reason that Grand Circle really, what we try to offer people is value, Janet. We try to give them the opportunity. They can travel any time of the year. So rather than going when it's peak time and busy, we do a lot of work on the low season and the shoulder season when the weather is still good in these destinations, but they can really take advantage and stretch the dollar all the way through.
So it's going to be a little less expensive than it would be during peak time.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the perks or the reasons for older Americans wanting to go this way?
Well, I think, everybody's looking not only for the value, but they're looking for the experience. And I think when you go shoulder season or low season, it's not as crowded in the places. They can get into museums, they can get into some of the cultural experiences that won't be as crowded in other times of the year. Pacing also is a big thing with us, so we give them long enough in each place. And the people really do choose. They do their homework very well. We give them the opportunity to, once they book a trip with us, give them all the reading that they need to come up and learn what they want in that destination.
Our number, should you like to get some answers to questions about travel, is 617-244-3344. And let's take a call right now from Steve from Worcester. Go ahead, Steve. You're on Time for Living.
I was wondering if you could tell me which is a better deal, to go cruise only or to purchase your air with the cruise?
Well, usually it's with the cruise, take the whole package. A lot of times you can get these deals that the airlines will have out there to do the when they have the sales, but to make sure, a lot of times, the cruises go on a Saturday or Sunday. A lot of times you've got to lock in ahead of time, and the fares that are offered on the specials, they're limited seating, and you won't be able to really assure getting a seat.
Steve, you planning a trip?
Yeah, I am.
Like where?
Probably to the Caribbean.
Sounds very nice. Thanks, and have a wonderful time.
Okay, thanks.
Our number 244-3344. The area code is 617. We'd like to hear from you if you have a specific question about specific destinations, for example. You mentioned that Mexico is a site that people enjoy. Where do they go specifically in Mexico? What do they see?
Well, again, Jenna, we specialize in the senior market. we feel that they're not looking for the Acapulcos and the beach resorts. So we go to some of the colonial cities. I just came back last week. I was down in the Copper Canyon, where, you know, it's Mexico's version of the Grand Canyon. It gives them a chance to really experience some of the Indian culture. And it's much different from, I think, what a lot of people think Mexico is all about when you just have the seaside resorts.
When people go on specific trips to different destinations, do they have to make all the arrangements for themselves regarding side trips, or is a lot of this handled for them?
With us, that's all handled for them. They have the opportunity in our packages to, there's a lot included in the package, and then we also make arrangements to do optional excursions as well. The nice thing that they like about our trips is they have a tour director with them the entire time. So if someone wants to go off and do their own things, they've got their expert right there to help them do those type of things.
Do they need a lot of money with them, or is a lot of this prepaid for them?
It's almost all prepaid. The trip is completely prepaid. On the optional tours, they can either charge them, they can use credit cards for some of the options when they're there. But the thing is, they're prepared ahead of time. We tell them exactly what's available outside of the package that they bought. So if they want to supplement that, it's right there for them.
Having been on a cruise that went to multiple destinations, I know that you get off the ship in the morning and you start running because you want to see so much, and then you get back on and you go somewhere in the evening. Now, your cruises apparently are designed a little differently so that you don't have to go, you know, full throttle to get to everything.
Well, the cruises, again, you know, the cruise still runs the ship, so to speak. With our land products, yes, we have complete control over everything. So because of the senior market that we're really offering our products to, everything is paced according to what their needs are. We try to do a lot of half-day trips. If we have a long day, then the next day might be more of a day at leisure. We really, and our tour directors are really keyed into that as well.
So the pacing is much healthier.
Pacing is really healthy for them.
Our number is 617-244-3344. We're talking about travel, and I often wonder whether or not special accommodations can be made for people who are on special diets. Is this a hassle for them, or is this pretty much easily taken care of?
Not at all, Janet. If they'd let us know once they're on site, if they go to one of our land programs and they have any dietary issues, they just get a hold of the tour director. The tour director will then bring them into the chef, let them know what their situation is, and they do the most they possibly can. If it's a real specialized situation, then if they let us know ahead of time, we can tell them whether we can accommodate them or not.
Is travel, for the most part, a grueling experience for people, or is it something that is almost rejuvenating?
No, it's rejuvenating. We had people, you know, that have traveled with us for years and years and years. It's part of their life now, and we make it as easy on them as we possibly can. And the whole key to us is the pacing, the choice. They don't have to do everything. They can really, you know, pick and choose what they want according to their abilities. If there's a trip that's particularly strenuous, we let them know that. We want to make sure that medically they're able to do it and that they're fit. And the tour director really advises them on a daily basis what to expect, so there's no real surprises as they go.
How much planning should a person plan on doing before they go on one of these trips, and what kind of guidance would you offer someone so that there'll be no hassles, there'll be no problems once they're getting underway? I mean, are there certain questions that have got to be resolved, shots that have got to be taken, you know, the details?
Sure. Jenna, what we've done is we've put together 101 tips that people can phone in on the 800 number to get. It prepares them for all of the things that you just mentioned before they go on the trip. In addition to that, once they've booked a particular trip with us, they then get a whole booklet of information that pertains exactly to that trip. It gives them all kinds of information on site, particulars about the country that they're in, banking, what they should maybe read beforehand as far as references, because our travelers are very, very sophisticated cultural type of people that want to really know as much as they can.
Let's show this to our viewing audience right now. Going abroad, 101 tips for mature travelers. And all the questions that you have are probably going to be answered so that there's no need to be worried or concerned about the quality of the trip you're going to be taking.
Right. And they can call in. There's an 800 number for that, Janet. It's free. There's no obligation to buy a trip. They can call in. The 800 number is 1-800-248-3737, and we'll send that out to them.
I often wonder, too, whether or not younger people or children of older people can buy gifts of travel for their parents or relatives that they think might be really enjoyable, and whether or not it's the kind of thing that you would do in concert with them. I mean, do younger people buy trips and all of them go together?
No. What happens, and this is funny, we just did this for, my cousin's actually giving it to my aunt and uncle, and he didn't want them to know about it. He knew they wanted to go to Italy. He called up, we booked the trip, all the documents are going to him, and they'll take care of it. We do once in a while have, let's say, a son and daughter-in-law buy the trip for the parents and go with them. As long as the son and daughter know that the average age of our client is about 70 years old, so it's an older group, but we welcome it. We've even had grandchildren come on the trip with the grandparents, and it works well.
Our number is 617-244-3344, and Herman from Randolph is joining us now on Time for Living. Hi, Herman.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
Good. I was just wondering if arrangements can be made in hotels overseas and on ships and so forth. I have a relative who has emphysema and sleep apnea, and he needs oxygen at night. And I was wondering if arrangements like that can be made in hotels and on board ships.
Good question.
Absolutely. As long as we know ahead of time, we would find out if it was a particular hotel in a country that couldn't handle it. We would let you know that ahead of time so that you wouldn't have to worry. But as long as we know what the specifics are, we can get that information and make sure that the traveler is going to be accommodated for those needs.
Are you planning on a trip yourself?
No, I'm not a traveler. I did enough traveling in the Navy, but this is for my brother-in-law, and they were planning on a trip, and I just thought I'd ask because that was one of the big concerns.
Well, I hope they enjoy it, and thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Our number is 617-244-3344. If there's any special destination that you have in mind that you have questions about, please feel free to give us a call right now, and we'll be happy to try to resolve any confusion there might be. Travel is a very important part of total life, obviously, and a lot of people leave it till they're older, leave that aspect of their entertainment and joy. And quite often people are not always in the best of health when they do travel. And I'm sure a concern is, so if something should happen, is there medical assistance nearby? And I'm sure this is a concern that is shared by many.
It is, Janet, and what we do is, depending on the particular type of trip that they're on, what we call our extended destinations, where they're in a place for, let's say, a minimum of a week, our tour director on site lives there. They know all of the places to go if there is any type of a medical problem. The same even if it's either an escorted program where they're kind of moving, or if they're on a cruise. Our tour directors know all of the procedures that they need. What we ask the clients is, when they're on a trip, they're given a form to fill out. It's given to the tour director. In case there is a problem, he then knows at least who to contact back home, and then he would then just proceed with what the normal situation would be.
Wonderful. So that should put their minds at ease. We'll continue with more of your calls and more conversation about travel when Time for Living continues, so stay with us. Welcome back to Time for Living. We're continuing our discussion about travel with Grand Circle Travel Vice President Rob Kelly. A discussion that you too can join in on by calling us at 617-244-3344. So if you've been to beautiful Bermuda or have any travel questions or comments, now's the time to call. And Rob, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that people should be aware of, some of the hidden costs that may be involved, what specific details people should look for when they're beginning to plan a trip.
Well, the advice that I'd give anybody, Janet, once they're planning a trip is either if they're going to their travel agency or like Grand Circle, we're direct mail, so you get our catalogs in the mail. Really do a very thorough job of comparing what you're getting. A lot of times people, don't really know what to look for. They should be absolutely aware of all the fine print. They should make sure that they know what meals are included, what airline they're going on, the type of accommodations, because there's so many different packages and it can get so confusing for people.
And you spend the time with them to explain all of this so they know up front what's happening.
Well, the nice part with us is if they're on our mailing list and they get a catalog, they can take all the time in the world they want to go through it on their own. There's no one pressuring them, and then they can call in on the 800 number to go through all the questions that they might have. But even if they don't end up choosing a trip with us, we feel we can still educate them on what they need to look for when they're booking a trip.
Very good. Let's take another call. Sandy from Quincy, you're on Time for Living. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Enjoy your program very much.
Thank you.
I just have a question for your guest there. I am a widow, not an old widow lady, but are these cruises conducive like for single people that possibly would be traveling alone, or are they mostly couples?
Cindy, I think you really need to be careful with the cruises to just, there are different cruise lines that will be naturally some really specialize in the couples market, some specialize in the younger market, some specialize in the older market. So you really need to be sure, what the particular line might specialize in so that you are in with the right mix of people.
How do you ask the question to get the answer?
Well, just when if you're booking with a travel agency or if you're booking with anybody over the phone, ask them, look, I'm a single, I'm traveling alone, what would you recommend? You give them the destination that you're thinking of, and they'll then put you into the particular line if it's a cruise that you're looking for.
Sandy, anything specific that you're looking for?
No, not really. I just, I thought that was kind of like a need that's been overlooked because being there myself now, it's a little difficult. You don't always have a traveling companion. And yet on a cruise, there's so many people there that you really wouldn't feel alone.
Can she be sort of matched in a way with someone who's compatible?
Sandy, what you can do is, a lot of different companies do what Grand Circle does, is that for single women like yourself, we do have a program where if you let us know you would like to match up with another single person, number one, you don't have to pay the single supplement, and number two, it's a great way of meeting other travel companions. I just came back 2 weeks ago from doing we called it our Steel Magnolias trip, where we did it for all women. It was about 125 women, not single, they were married and single. And a lot of them, rather than coming with the friend, chose to match up with the roommate. They had a ball. We were down in New Orleans for 6 nights. And it was at the point where they really met some other great ladies that they will now travel with as traveling companions.
Sound interesting, Sandy?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay, enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Have a nice holiday.
You do the same.
Thank you.
And speaking of pairing, though, do these people have an opportunity to meet one another before, if they're going to be sharing close quarters, or do they just speak with each other over the phone? Is that handled that way?
Yeah, well, what we do, Janet, we give them the opportunity. If they want, the only real criteria that we can say we will meet for them is whether they're a smoker or a non-smoker. Then what we will do is give them the opportunity to call the person ahead of time. If they want to get together with them ahead of time, it's up to them. But again, your roommate could be out in California. You don't know until you get it, till we match you up. But they usually do talk right ahead of time, and there's always that sense of anticipation when they're looking to meet each other when they're on site.
Okay, Kenny from Burlington, you're on Time for Living. Hi, Kenny.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Oh, that's good.
Where do you want to go?
Actually, I did go to Bermuda on the Royal Majesty last July.
No kidding.
No, it was great.
We had a wonderful time.
Yeah. What I called for is I heard a gentleman talking about traveling with disabilities.
Yes.
And there was a travel agent in Malden. It's called Access First Travel. They specialize in disabled travel. and they set up the cruise with all the transfers for electric wheelchair. I'm a quadriplegic in an electric chair.
Yeah.
And they set up all the transfers and made sure the island was all accessible. And I've been to Disney World through them, and they set up, to get me on the plane, and accessible hotels with roll-in showers and everything.
So there should be no reason to prevent you from enjoying these wonderful opportunities as well.
Right. They were very good, and his name is Joe Regan. He's excellent, and he knows exactly what your needs are. His sister is disabled, so he started specializing in that in about 8 years ago, and he really knows his stuff really well. So if anyone's looking for to travel with disabilities, I think it'd be a great person to talk to.
Thank you for that information, Kenny.
All right, thank you.
Yes, and
Have a nice
enjoy
day.
traveling. I assume there are special needs people whose needs have got to be accommodated, and is this something that most agencies can handle, or is this something that you should try to go to a specialist on?
No, it depends, I think, on the disability and what people can or can't do. Again, I think it's by country, Janet. I think with us, we certainly, when I'm out negotiating with hotels, we try as much as we can to make sure that we can accommodate and have handicap rooms that are accessible for the travelers. But again, it's not so much just the accommodations. People really need to know what is the rigorous of the trip, and make sure that they're picking a trip that's going to still be within their capability to do.
So there is an opportunity for everyone to enjoy travel. Our number is 244-3344, and we'd like to hear from you if you have any questions about any kind of concerns of travel. And Marcus from Stoneham, you're on Time for Living.
Oh, good day.
Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I took the cruise with Ruth Hyde to the Bahamas. We got the fattest Thai sticks. We got...
Well, that's it's really interesting how people enjoy various forms of travel, for sure. But what's really big now? I know that a lot of people have enjoyed trips to Alaska. Is that still the place to go?
Well, Alaska maintains a real big interest, I think a lot because of just the natural beauty and the scenery, and you can do it in a way on the cruise where it's comfortable. I mean, they're on and off the ship. They can really see what's up there. There's a lot with the ecology. So Alaska continues to do very well. Along the ecological type of destinations, Costa Rica, for instance, with the rainforest, is a very big destination.
A friend of mine just returned from a trip to Costa Rica, and she hasn't stopped talking about it yet. It was just an incredible experience, and I think that a lot of people are really unaware of what there is there.
I think they're completely unaware, and they're just, with the wildlife, the rainforest, people are really, really surprised when they get down there as far as the natural beauty that's there.
Because I also asked her whether or not it was a safe trip, and she said there was never one time when they felt uncomfortable or insecure or in danger in any way, and they camped out in the forest as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We just had people come back, another incredible destination, which nothing to do with ecology, but we just had 15 of our people from the office come back from Morocco, sleeping out, if you can imagine the seniors, sleeping out for a night in the Sahara, in tents, seeing the moon come up, riding on the camels. I mean, we feel that it's our challenge to really put things together that seniors could never do on their own. And we try to get them meeting with the local people. Many of our trips include a home visit where they'll go and meet a family, stay overnight, have breakfast with them, break bread. Hopefully, if the language is there, they can really discuss things. Sometimes it's almost fun if the language isn't there. We do it in Turkey, and everybody still gets their point across as far as being able to...
So you don't have to speak the language necessarily.
Not necessarily.
There's always a good opportunity to be able to pick up a few words, certainly. But I mean, someone's there to translate for you.
Absolutely. And I think, I'm sure with yourself traveling, Jen, I know part of the reason I travel is to get out there and meet the people. And we feel that anybody can go out and sit on a bus and be told all of the story. That's not what we try to do. We really try to give people an impactful experience and push them beyond what their norm might be, and go out and do things that you wouldn't normally do.
So when are you planning travel to the moon? Is that the next?
That might be the next. That might be the next.
After the year 2000, you just never know. Well, I've certainly enjoyed this, and I thank you very much, Rob, for joining us today. And Rob Kelly has been here with Grand Circle Travel. And if you have any questions or comments for him, please feel free to contact them at 347 Congress Street in Boston. It's Boston, Massachusetts, 02210, or give them a call at area code 617-350-7500. And if you have any questions or comments for Time for Living, then you can write to Time for Living at P.O. Box 8452, Boston, Massachusetts, 02114, or you can call our voicemail at 1-800-232-7213, or fax us at 617-329-1774. When Time for Living continues, find out who gets this week's Second Effort Salute.
Welcome back. It's time to come back to the winter and this week's Second Effort Salute. And in that Second Effort Salute, we profile people who are continuing to share their skills with others, even though they don't have to work anymore.
And this week's Time for Living Spotlight shines on an octogenarian who has taken his skills and created works of art for all to see. Our Second Effort Salute goes to Goben Stair.
Art isn't in Newbury Street, it's here.
If anyone knows art, it's Goben Stair. The 85-year-old Kingston, Massachusetts man has had a colorful career working as an artist in the publishing industry. But now that he's retired, he's creating murals for the entire community to enjoy and to appreciate.
One of the important things for an artist to decide is what life is all about. That's what religion is supposed to be doing, and that is deepening and intensifying what you mean and what you are and what your life is. And it's an adventure. And when you start to talk about a mission statement, which is what we were talking about here, you're talking about your community and what it means and why it's a community.
The mural dominates the Beale House Meeting Center at Kingston's Unitarian Universalist Church. It's designed with both young and old in mind and shows Mr. Stair's love of God and community.
And when you put that hand up in the air there, you know, that's the one God. And the Jewish experience, they developed this idea of one God in the time when everybody had many gods. And it's one God, one country, one belief began to be used by others as well, you see.
There's a bit of whimsy in the mural, too. Nestled within the spiritual figures, Dennis the Menace.
And Dennis the Menace certainly stands for our appreciation of that energy those kids have, you know, and the picture of that is immediately grasped when you say spiritual, especially by kids. The kids make that kind of a switch very, very quickly.
This isn't Mr. Stair's first mural in the town. 3 years ago, he created a mural celebrating the alphabet, which is found at the town library. He has another one in the works as well. Mr. Stair enjoys his work and enjoys bringing art to his community.
To realize that I enjoy and they enjoy this work together. I'm making it for them, they're getting it, and that completes it.
I'm Rod Fritz. Time for Living.
He certainly is an inspiration to all of us.
He certainly is. And if you know somebody you'd like us to profile on our Second Effort Salute, then just write to us here at Time for Living, care of Second Effort Salute, P.O. Box 8452, Boston, Massachusetts, 02114.
Or you can leave us a message on our voicemail by calling 1-800-232-7213 or send a fax to 617-329-1774, and we'll do our very best to give them a Second Effort Salute.
Coming up next, we'll look at how builders are making housing more convenient for older population. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Time for Living. Before we say goodbye, we wanted to show you some of the new technology being used to make things a little more comfortable.
Well, that's right, Janet. Each year we find that society is becoming a little more sensitive to the needs of its population. Now, services like daycare for working parents, curb cutaways for the physically challenged, and an array of renovations that make living a little easier for lots of people. In this week's Newsbreak segment, Carolyn Murdoch takes a close look at the way builders are making housing more comfortable for our older population.
Aging experts have long advocated housing that will allow people to age in place, even people with disabilities. Increasingly, builders are responding, opening the door for accessible housing. Fairline Manor is a brand new, barrier-free townhouse development. The electronics are from the Leviton Manufacturing Company's Universal Design Series for independent living.
I could sit here and control every light and every switch in this house and not have to get up. Quite literally control lights in the bathroom, living room, ceiling lights, doors, etc.
There is no door on the shower, and controls are out of the spray. Bathroom lights with automatic sensors promote safety, energy, efficiency, and convenience. Under the kitchen sink, there's room for a wheelchair, and you don't need strong hands to turn on the faucet. Although many such features have been available, many builders have rarely incorporated them into their designs, until now.
As a population, we're getting older. The age group 65 and older is the fastest growing segment of the population. And as their abilities change over time, their needs are going to change. So housing needs to adapt to accommodate that.
Experts predict demand for accessible housing will continue to surge. Fact is, in the next 15 years, the 65 and older population in the United States will increase 22%. I'm Carolyn Murdoch. Time for Living.
Now, those are some really innovative ideas.
They certainly are. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but before we go, we want to give you our address one more time.
If you have any questions or comments, then write to us at Time for Living, Post Office Box 8452, Boston, Massachusetts, 02114.
Or once again, you can call us and leave a message at our voicemail number, 1-800-232-7213, or send us a fax at 617-329-1774. We hope to hear from you real soon.
And we hope you enjoyed today's show. And until then, thanks for joining us. And remember, it's time for living.
Listen, when you visit a restaurant, please tell them you saw it on the Phantom, and tell them the Phantom sent you. Who knows, maybe you'll get a little something. And everybody owning and operating restaurants out there, please don't forget, treat every customer like a critic. You never know, the Phantom could be sitting there. Listen, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Fun show. How about JD?
Can I leave these with you?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah. Do me a favor, sign this to my wife.
Yeah, it sounded like
Thank
JD
you.
might have been Willie B. That's it.
Yeah, it also sounded like JD was half in the bag.
I'm on my way to Sardis. Go cater away. Promo. Take it easy. Hey,
All right.
Steve, it's nice meeting
To
you.
Lisa?
Lisa? Take that. Okay.